Oh, you know it. Home runs are the great deodorant. Everything smells good after home runs, and the Yankees had plenty of them last night, blowing out the Red Sox. And today, it's the rubber game. Fans filing into Yankee Stadium, and it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents the Hyundai Sunday Game of the Week. It's the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox in the final game of the first half of the season. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball. Along with Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees needed a game like last night. They beat up on the Red Sox. The long ball was there. We know all about Aaron Judge with home runs, Paul. But Matt Carpenter, one of the great stories in baseball this year.
No doubt about it. I mean, when you're a Yankee team and you've had this good of a first half, boys, you're going to have some stories. Matt Carpenter didn't take long. First inning, a 3-run shot. Well, Aaron Judge, he does this regularly. But you know what? It's still fun to watch, and he's on a historical pace. Matt Carpenter, another 3-run shot. He has been lightning in a bottle for the Yankees, and a lot of fun. And, all right, just showing off. Aaron Judge, 14-1, Michael. You're right. That was a beating.
It was a beating. Now the Yankees will try to take the series. How about this pitching matchup? This is quality. Chris Sale came off the IL on the 12th. He'd been out with a fractured right rib cage. He's back. He made a great start against the Rays. And Garrett Cole's had an all-star first half, 8-2, 3.05. This one should be fun, and we thank you for tuning in. Hey, the first half has been fun. 6 All-Stars off the Yankee roster. The best record in baseball. More than you could have imagined. More than you could have hoped for. Meredith Marakovitz and Aaron Boone have more when we return right here on Yes.
The Red Sox 14-1. Now they'll try to finish out the first half strong. Final game of the 3-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox coming your way in just a few minutes. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. The Yankees have been playing a great brand of baseball the first 3.5 months to start the season. They have the best record in the league. They are 13 games up in the division, and they really haven't shown any signs of slowing down. Earlier, when I spoke to manager Aaron Boone, I asked him what stands out to him about the way this team has played.
But we also are keenly aware of how much longer we've got to go, and just the fact that all we've done is put ourselves in a great position to do something special.
What has stood out to you about your team's first half performance?
The ways we've been able to win games, and the confidence that this team has that we can win in any kind of way. That's really what's jumped out, and it starts with the commitment the guys made from day one of spring training of being really committed and obsessive with the details and the smaller things in the game that have shown up big for us at different times throughout the year, and I think that's led to confidence that we can win in any game by doing it some different ways.
Quick note when it comes to the Yankees lineup this afternoon, Giancarlo Stanton is not in it. Instead, you're going to see Tim LeCastro out in right field. Aaron Boone said he just wanted to give him an extra day heading into the All-Star break. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Michael Kay will be joined by Paul O'Neill. First pitch coming your way after the break.
And you get a close-up view of Garrett Cole warming up for today's game against the Red Sox. Let's take a look at the lineup that he's going to face. And that is brought to you by TikTok. TikTok taught me. Jaron Duran in right field leads off. Rafael Devers at third. Xander Bogaerts at short. J.D. Martinez will DH those three. Devers, Bogaerts, and Martinez going to the All-Star game. Verdugo in left. Vasquez will catch. Cordero at first. Jackie Bradley Jr. made 2 outstanding defensive plays in center last night. He's in center again, batting 8th and batting 9th. The second baseman, Jeter Downs. And they're going to be facing that guy. He's going to the All-Star game. Not going to pitch because he's pitching today. 19th start for Garrett Cole, 8-2, 3.05. His numbers are very good. He'd like to cut down on the home runs. And Paul, how about a scouting report?
Well, number 7, well, we'll see. He has had a nice run, 6 great consecutive starts, 2.06 ERA, 162 batting average against. So He's on a roll, and watch out. I mean, Devers got him twice in Fenway last time they faced each other, and he has 6 career home runs off Cole. So got to watch him. And back to the basics. He's throwing his good fastball a lot more, getting away from the cut fastball. Garrett Cole is overpowering, and if he can dot that fastball, he's really tough.
Red Sox are 48-44, Yankees 63-28. Red Sox have lost 9 of 12, and the only 3 games they won, the 2 last weekend against the Yankees and the 1 on Friday night. So the Yankees will try to take another series and end the first half on a high note. Jarren Duran digs in. He's ready. Garrett Cole is ready. And let's to left field. Hicks on the run toward the line, and he runs out of room as it goes into the seats. Why don't we check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. You've got Hicks in left, the All-Star Judge in center, and Tim LeCastro gets to start over and right. Infield, LeMahieu, Connor Falefa, Torres, and Rizzo third to first. Higashioka's first start with Cole since May 8th, and Garrett Cole is on the mound. The 0-1. 1-1. Jansen Visconti is the home plate umpire. The crew chief Jim Reynolds at first. DJ Rayburn at second, and John Lipka is over at third. Duran, a .262 hitter, but .295 against right-handed pitching. There's a fly ball, left side again, and again it makes the seats.
1 year ago today, Michael, to this day, Jarren Duran made his major league debut. And he got to hit his first at bat against Garrett Cole. How you like that?
There you go. Good way to break in.
It's a name you won't forget, that's for sure.
Alex Cora, the Red Sox manager, said that Duran has been the dynamic player that we envisioned. 1-2. Just missed. 2-2.
Yeah, they've used him kind of as a platoon player. He is a speed guy, 7 for 8 in stolen bases this year. He's been with Boston his whole career. Made his major league debut last year, as I said, 1 year ago today.
Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. It's 80 degrees, feels hotter. Chance of rain 15%, humidity 65%, wind out of the south-southeast at 3 miles per hour. It's kind of overcast, and the lights are on here at the stadium for this 1:35 start. And the 2-2. Still 2-2.
You know, Michael, as histories go, things get better and better, and we can analyze things a lot better. I was just looking at your weather report. The 15%, I don't trust it anymore. It's not supposed to rain, it rains. It's supposed to rain, it doesn't rain. We got to figure that out. That's one thing in life I don't think they've improved on enough.
Well, you're Paulie Doppler. I mean, why don't you do better work?
That's why I look at the radar and I'm like, what are they talking about? It's not going to rain. It is going to rain. So I got my own scouting report.
So you think it's higher than 15%?
No, I think we're good today. But
okay.
like I said, weathermen, we need to improve.
Just be better.
That's right.
2-2. Swing and a miss on the change. Duran down on strikes.
Well, they finally went to a different pitch. Good fastballs and then a slider, but then he finished him off with a really good changeup. Again, Garrett Cole has a lot of weapons. A great view of that changeup and how you kind of turn it over as a right-hander.
All right, this is a matchup that has bedeviled Garrett Cole, and that's Rafael Devers. 6 home runs he's given up, and he goes way inside to knock him down. 1-0. And Devers kind of staring out at Cole. Higashioka picks up the bat, and we're on.
You know what? Inside fastball, a little overkill on the play. I don't know, but you know, you do have to pitch inside, but that ball's not that close.
Yeah, I told you this on Friday, Paul. I spent about 20 minutes talking with Cole before the game on Friday, and he has analyzed every at-bat that he's had against Devers. How Devers has got him with different pitches, good pitches, pitches where he put it exactly where he wants. So, I mean, he's given this a lot of thought, 1 and 2.
We were talking about him getting away from the cutter, but if he can get that under a lefty's hand, you talk about weapons, it is a great weapon. That is just a ball that Mariano Rivera lived on and pretty much invented against left-handed hitters.
Swing and a miss, got him. Powered it up to 99. Devers down on strike, so Cole wins that one.
Well, if he relooks at this at bat, Michael, this was perfect pitching. I mean, he in and out, good velocity. Started off with a ball inside that Devers thought that he was sending a message. I don't know, but strike 3 right here.
Well, that kind of set the tone for the afternoon, that's for sure. Here's Bogaerts. And there's a strike. And another thing to consider, Paul, you got a guy like Chris Sale on the mound. If the Red Sox interpret that as he did that on purpose, it'll be interesting to see how Sale answers back.
Sure. I mean, there will be a point in time. There's no doubt that, you know, whether it's intentional or not. You know, Gary Cole came in, bell high. Sometimes, you know, that's what you need to do as a pitcher. That's not a dangerous pitch. But obviously, when you hit a pitcher really well, you almost expect them to get you off the plate at times. And, you know, I think if Devers looks at that pitch, yeah, it was a purpose pitch, get off the plate, but not intentionally trying to hurt somebody.
Grounded to third, backhanded by LeMahieu. He throws off balance to first, and he gets Bogaerts for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So Garrett Cole strikes out Duran, strikes out Devers, gets Bogaerts to ground out to third. Red Sox nothing, Yankees coming to bat. Starting lineup brought to you by TikTok. TikTok taught me. LeMahieu at third base leads off. Aaron Judge in center. Rizzo at first. Gleyber Torres at second. Matt Carpenter, the DH, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the left fielder Aaron Hicks. Then it's IKF at short. Tim LeCastro getting the start and right. And Kyle Higashioka will catch and bat ninth. And they're going to face Chris Sale. His second start after a long stint on the IL against the Rays on Tuesday. 5 innings, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. He threw 78 pitches. How about a scouting report on this great left-hander?
Yeah, let's go over his resume, Michael. It's quite impressive. 12 seasons. He's been an All-Star 7 times, part of the 2018 World Championship team. And his 30.6% strikeout rate, first in the major leagues history, with a minimum of 1,500 innings pitched. And only 2, you said it, only his second game back. And through the years, from 2010 to 2018, Sale really shut down the Yankees, 1.61 ERA. Finally, his last start, which was in 2019 against the Yankees, kind of beat him up with 8 runs in 3 2/3 inning.
Let's check out the Red Sox defense. It's brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. Verdugo, Bradley, and Duran. Boy, Bradley can get him with anybody. 2 highlight plays yesterday. Devers, Bogaerts, Downs, and Cordero. Third to first. Vasquez behind the plate. Chris Sale is on the mound. Here's LeMahieu against the tall, thin left-hander. And a strike. one thing that the Red Sox hanging their hat on, they have not had the first half that they envisioned, but they're getting back their players. They got back Whitlock, who pitched so well on Friday. They got back Evaldi. They're getting back Sale. This is his second start, and they feel if they get back their injured players, they should have a better second half. 1-2.
Yeah, the team that might be active at the trade line, Michael, if you throw some more pitching in this lineup, I mean, we've talked about how top-heavy their lineup is. They do score runs. You throw another bat, get some production at first base, and throw another starting pitcher in, they could be a very dangerous team going in as a wild card.
1-2 on LeMahieu. Upstairs, 2-2. Sale is 33 years old, 12 big league season, 7-time All-Star. And when healthy, one of the best pitchers in the game. 2-2 pitch. Line to right field, giving chase Duran. He's not going to get there. It's going to go into the corner and up against the wall. LeMahieu, who's been red hot, picks up a leadoff double.
Just an amazing piece of hitting, Michael. I mean, this is a changeup from a lefty from the side, but again, if you come off of this ball at all, you do nothing with it. Chris Sale doesn't want it up that high in the strike zone, but just a gorgeous piece of hitting by DJ LeMahieu.
So a leadoff double, and that'll bring up Aaron Judge. Judge with 2 home runs yesterday. He has 33 on the year. Now the 33 ties Roger Maris for the most of any Yankee before the All-Star break. Well, Maris did it in 83 games, and Judge has done it in 88 games. The 0-1. Squib foul. Now, 91 games of the Yankee season, 33 or more home runs. Babe Ruth did it 3 times. Mantle did it once in 61. Maris did it in 61. And Judge right here in 2022. So pretty good company for Aaron Judge. And that hit Judge. So he will take first base.
It's almost a convenient way to, all right, now we're even. But, the ball did clip him, but this is a slider. No intention whatsoever. Hit him in the back foot. It's basically what you want to do as a lefty is bury that thing down in that, but Aaron Judge not able with the weight on that back foot to get out of the way.
So first and second, nobody out, and here is Rizzo. Rizzo has reached base successfully in 10 straight games. 3 infielders on the right side for Rizzo. Inside.
Well, Chris Sale, as you look at that super shot, I've always said, and this is actually a changeup, he kind of turns it over. Always said that this is one guy that I'd much rather see from the booth than I would at the plate. Sidearm delivery, tall, lanky lefty, used to throw mid to upper 90s. Just a very tough at bat for lefties.
Rizzo fouls that one back to the screen, 1-1. LeMahieu at second, Judge is at first. Working him inside, and Rizzo doesn't give an inch. That's why he gets hit so much. And the count 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, you can have no fear of getting hit with a baseball if you're standing on top of the plate. Obviously, Anthony Rizzo, this is what he has done his whole career.
Nice pitch for a strike, 2-2.
Well, this is why I had to stay away from the plate against lefties, because right there, that breaking ball, if you're on top of the plate, is right at you, and it freezes you, ends up over the middle of the plate.
Soft ground ball to first, fielded by Cordero. The runners move up, one away. All right, Paul, it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, it's the last shot. All-Star break starting tomorrow. Great day to finish with a big one, both individually and as a team. You can enjoy the break. And how long? I mean, the Carpenter story has been amazing. And how long will it continue? I mean, the more at-bats he gets, even against a tough lefty today, interesting to see. And good luck. I mean, good luck to the Yankee players going to the All-Star game. You always root for the guys from your own team. Holmes, Judge, Stanton, Trevino, Cortez, and Cole. He said Michael, by pitching today, will not pitch in L.A.
Gleyber Torres swings and misses, 0-1. Garrett Cole will represent the Yankees at the All-Star game. He's from Southern Cal, so he wants to be there, but he will not pitch because he's pitching today. The 0-1. Grounded softly to third. Coming home is LeMahieu. The throw gets away from Vasquez. LeMahieu scores. Judge moves to third. Torres goes to second. And the Yankees lead 1-0.
Well, the right decision. You're not going to turn two here, but it just, you know, it's an errant throw. And we've talked about Devers, his problems defensively. 22 errors last year. This is his 12th of the year this year. Just airmails one to Vasquez.
Even if it's a great throw, it's still not a sure thing at home plate.
Yeah, he decided to try to cut down that run, and I think Chris Sale would love to see that. But again, when you airmail it to the screen, no outs, now Sale's even in more trouble.
Infield in for the Red Sox against Carpenter. So that's a fielder's choice. RBI for Torres and an E5, allowing the runners to move up. So Sale did not allow a run in the 5 innings against the Rays on Tuesday. A run in already. Yankees looking for more as Carpenter fouls it back, 1-1. So Carpenter now has multiple games where he's had 7 more RBIs, and he joins the likes of Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth as the only Yankees to do that in a single season. 3 brand names. And the fact that he's in there against Sale and they're resting Stanton tells you what Aaron Boone thinks about Carpenter. He had an at-bat yesterday against Darwinson Hernandez, didn't fluster him at all, had a good at-bat against left-handers, and well, they put him in against Sale. The 2-1 inside, 3-1. Carpenter has a 1.406 OPS, and that's the highest of any player in his first 30 games in baseball history, not just the Yankees. 3-1. Popped up, foul, and that'll make the seats out of play.
That little respect right there from Chris Sale. 3-1 against a lefty, and you go with a breaking ball, and a good one. Didn't take long to realize who the hot hitters are in this league, but that sidearm breaking ball, very hard to sit on. 3-1.
A lot of firsts on that list for Carpenter. Up the middle, on one hop, knocked down by Downs. I'll get the out at first. Scoring is Judge. RBI number 32 for Carpenter, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
You know, this doesn't seem like much, Michael, but I mean, fundamentally, what a great at bat. Doesn't give in. This ball's inside. He fights it off, put it in play again. You know, put some pressure on this Boston defense. Aaron Judge cruises into home plate. He kind of freezes immediately, then he sees it get away. Again, by putting the ball in play, Michael, good things can happen. You see this way inside the label. It's a jam shot, but a tough lefty. Good pitch to put in play.
Hicks with the check swing. He did not go around. 1-0. So the Yankees have jumped out to a 2-0 lead behind Cole against Sale. Still batting here in the bottom of the first inning. One and one.
Well, by far the hardest pitch he's thrown. That was 97. He's been at 92, 93 with a lot of change-ups. Starting to hump it up a little bit here going into his 24th pitch.
And that hits Sale. And it goes into right field. Torres will score, and Sale is walking off the mound. That really got him. It's an RBI single for Hicks. It's 3-0 Yankees. And let's see if Sale's okay.
Yeah, that's a broken finger, Mike. That ball went right off his hand. I mean, there's just no other way. You can see that pinky is just disfigured. Pitchers have no reaction time. A hammered line drive by Aaron Hicks. And what are you going to do?
Oh, wow. He knew right away, Paul. He said, I'm done.
Yep. I mean, you don't know which angle it hit the finger, if it hit the front and bent it back or just glanced at it, but you know, that finger was not straight, and that just, you're not going to be able to throw the baseball.
This guy, since becoming a Red Sox, when he pitches, he's great, and he cannot avoid injury. That's so unfortunate to see a pitcher of that level have to go down like that and leave the game. The Red Sox now are leaving the field as they've got to get themselves a pitcher. That pitcher is going to have as much time as he needs to warm up, but Chris Sale is out of the game, and now you have to wonder, how long is he going to miss?
Yeah, that's going to be a while, Michael. And if you look back at 2020, I mean, he's had Tommy John surgery, he's had left shoulder issues. He has been on the IL for over 53% of Boston's games since 2018. So he just cannot stay away from the injury bug.
And Judge is trying to explain how that got him. And you know, Paul, you know, I understand what he's saying. Did it hit him flush on with the finger? Did it bend the finger back? But obviously it was misplaced there, or displaced for sure. And there's the injury list that Paul was talking about. It's an amazingly negative resume for a great pitcher that you want to see on the mound. But the injury bug has hit him, and it has hit him hard. Stress fracture in the right rib cage kept him out all this time. Finally came back, and now in the second start, this happens.
I mean, like I said, there's no reaction time whatsoever. Immediately, Chris Sale just heading to the dugout, knows that it's not right. I'm not going to be able to grip the baseball. You know, these are just unfortunate things. Whether you're a Boston fan, Yankee fan, I mean, to see one of the game's pitchers that have fought his way back walking off the mound again.
Well, the Red Sox will bring in Hirokazu Sawamura, and he will have as much time as he needs. And you can see the Yankees there looking at the play on the iPad, and no pitcher wants to see that. They're so close to the batter when they deliver the ball, Paul, and the way batters hit and the exit velocity off the bat, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the good news is, you know, it's a hand or below the neck. I mean, the one's right back at a pitcher's head. I mean, there's just no way around it. It's a dangerous part of the game.
That was 106.7 exit velocity off the bat, and it knocked Sale out of the game. And it hit him so hard on the hand that it ricocheted into right field, and that allowed Torres to score from second. So Sawamura will have as much time as he needs. We'll take a quick timeout, come back, and we'll have the conclusion of the first inning. Well, Sawamura is ready. Isaiah Kanafalefa steps in. Hicks is at first base with an RBI single, his 28th ribby of the year. And it also knocked Sale out of the game, injuring his finger on his left hand. And there's a strike. Paul, what does a hitter feel like when they hit a pitcher and they injure him?
Well, you know, it's not like you can aim the baseball. It's so much different from a pitcher who, you know, intentionally hits a batter and hurts somebody. That's intent. I mean, when you're hitting, I mean, you see the ball, you have such a small fraction of a second to react to it. It's not like you can aim it. Do you feel bad that, you know, Chris Sale got hurt? Yes. But do you feel like you had anything to do with it? Absolutely not. Because as a hitter, you know, your job is to hit the baseball hard.
One and two. Those are the numbers on Sawamura. Grounded back to the right-hander. He flips to first, and that will do it. The Yankees score 3 runs on 2 hits and 1 left. Cadillac this summer. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. By Burt Rehabilitation. Get back in action with Burt. And by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Some of the great moments throughout the years with the Yankees and the Red Sox. Aaron Boone has a middle name that he can't say publicly, thanks to that home run against the Red Sox.
I think Bucky had that same name, didn't he?
Same name.
You know, it's funny, Mike. I was looking at some of the rivalry, and it goes back a long time, even before some of these, you know, recent memories that everybody remembers. You go all the way back to 1949. They had a 1-game playoff, and that was like Joe DiMaggio against Ted Williams. So it was quite a game. And the thing that really stood out is Vic Raschi was the winning pitcher, right? So he gets a lead. He gives up 3 in the 9th and then got out of it. And would that ever happen today? Your starting pitcher giving up 3 in the 9th and still finishing the game out? Never happened again, right?
No, I think starting pitcher might give up 3 in the 6th, and that'll be it.
Yeah, that's all.
So 3-0 on J.D. Martinez, a long half inning on the bench for Garrett Cole. He worked a 1-2-3 first. Approximately 22 minutes he was on the bench, but he'll take the 3 runs for sure. And now the Red Sox will have to piece this game out of the bullpen. Fortunately, they have the All-Star break coming up, so they can empty the bullpen and piece together the next 24 outs or 21 outs, whichever it may be. And J.D. Martinez halfway to first, and Visconti decided to call strike 2. That was a real late call.
Yeah, this so late that it fools the hitter. I mean, you're in a rhythm. You don't hear it. I mean, that's 4 or 5 steps out of the batter's box. Let's see where the pitch was. Yeah, kind of borderline.
You'd have been halfway to first on that pitch.
I would have sprinted like I didn't hear him.
So 3-2 on J.D. Martinez. Cole deals. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Garrett Cole. Let's take a look at the umpire scouting report on Visconti. And he is hitter friendly, not that time. Fewer strikes up and down, fewer inside strikes on lefties. 5th big league season for Visconti.
It's an ideal scouting report for me. I hated the inside pitch because I didn't feel like I could get to it a lot of times. So if he's not going to call it, I can just inch out over the plate a little bit more as a left-handed hitter.
Looped into right field. LeCastro is there. 2 away.
LeCastro back, and defensively, a lot of speed. Good outfielder, good athlete. So, Aaron Boone gave him an opportunity to get a game in here. We'll see where it goes after the All-Star break, but it gives Stanton an opportunity to get a day off because, he will be part of all the festivities out in L.A.
Here's Vasquez. Foul back.
You look at those numbers, Michael, and there's so many guys who you say could have had a chance, should have had a chance. Vasquez's numbers offensively line up pretty good against the catchers in the American League. He's had a pretty good year offensively so far.
Fly ball. LeCastro, and another 1-2-3 inning for Cole. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 3-0 Yanks. The Garcia family. The Twins love watching the Yankees almost as much as their dad Gabe does. They look like they're really thrilled to be watching the game. They're probably happy with a 3-0 lead. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. All right, so Cole perfect through 2, 6 up, 6 down. Sawamura got the final out of the first after Sal suffered what looked to surely be a broken finger on a comebacker off the bat of Aaron Hicks. And now it'll be 8-9-1 for the Yankees in the bottom of the second, starting with Tim LeCastro. And a strike. Now, yesterday the Yankees won 14-1, and it was their 15th game where they scored 10 or more runs. And to consider how impressive that is, no other team has more than 10 such games. One. That is a base hit over the leaping try of Bogarts. So a single for LeCastro, and now he's a threat to go.
Well, he certainly is, Michael. And I mean, in this start, Tim LeCastro, you remember before his injury, was a big part off the bench as a pinch runner. Ball jam shot up the middle, but all of a sudden, 4 bases stolen so far this year. But if you go back career-wise, 35 stolen bases, only been caught 4 times. So he is a good base runner, and he uses his legs a lot to be in the major leagues.
So here is Higashioka. And a strike to the Yankee catcher.
If you're a base stealer, you got to think that Sawamura has a really good split-fingered fastball, and that's a very tough pitch for a catcher to handle and make a good throw to second base. So you try to guess along with the pitcher, try to pick a pitch where you feel like he's going to go to that split-fingered fastball.
Fly ball shallow left. 1 away. As Bogarts makes the catch. Back to the top of the order, and DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu with a double into the right field corner in the first inning. 3-0 Yankees, bottom of the second. In his last 25 games, including this one, 28 for 85, so that's over 320. An on-base percentage approaching 500. And he's slugging at over 400, so the numbers are great, and that's since June 21st. Batting average up to 275. Trying to keep Castro in check. Obviously, they played LeMahieu straight away, although Devers is off the line at third, more than the usual defensive alignment. One and one.
There's a split finger, but you see how quick Sawamura is to the plate, which makes it very difficult for LeCastro to get any kind of jump. He almost slide steps very quick to the plate, giving back Vasquez behind the plate a good opportunity to make a good throw.
Two and one. Well, Castro certainly dancing off of first.
Yeah, that's the key to a base stealer. You always want to keep your feet moving, and it's the key to a pitcher to make a guy come to a complete stop. Much harder to get a good jump from a dead stop than when you're moving a little bit.
Runner goes, pitches up and in, no throw. Stolen base for LeCastro. Now in his career, 36 for 40.
Yeah, really good job there. You see his moving feet, and again, a much quicker start. He almost had him timed in his head. No matter how quick you are, if you got him timed, just a great job. A guy knows how to steal bases. See it there in super shot.
So now a runner in scoring position. 3-1 count on LeMahieu. Judge is on deck. Big cut, 3-2. $62 stolen bases this season. They had 63 all of last year. Yankees are running more. The Red Sox are running more. A lot of teams. Every team's always looking for that statistical edge, that unexamined part of the game that people are not taking advantage of. And now it looks like moving the runners has become a big thing. As long as you steal at over 75-76%, it's worth it.
Yeah, the Yankees have had a great percentile too of being successful. So, you know, when things are going well, continue to do them.
They are timing how quick or slow Sawamura is to the plate on every single pitch. And a walk. Now, just to put a bow on the stolen base angle, Paul, last year, Major League teams averaged 0.60 stolen base attempts per game. This year is up to 0.68. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you take a step back, it's a 13% increase. And that would be the biggest increase year to year since 1976. So they are really integrating or reintegrating the stolen base into the game. And quick trip to the mound to talk to Sawamura.
Yeah, if you break that down, Michael, I think there's a few things that come into play. First of all, you know, pitchers are so worried about giving up the home run. Second of all, I think a lot of times with the shifts in the game today, and the positioning of players, I think it's very hard sometimes for the middle infielders to get there, receive the ball, and make a good tag to a good base stealer.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Another angle to think of, Paul, everybody throws max effort. Everybody's 97 to 100 miles an hour. Those guys are usually somewhat slower to the plate. There's your advantage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Here's Judge after the conference on the mound. First and second, one man out. Foul back. The 0-1. 1-1 on Judge. Well, Sawamura is going to really have to rethink the way he pitches next year with if there's a pitch clock, because he really takes a long time between each and every pitch. One. 1-2 on Judge. We're 20 seconds right now since his last pitch. "34 seconds from pitch to pitch, Paul."
That's not going to work, huh? They're going to have to cut that down a little bit.
I mean, every pitch he takes a stroll, goes through his hair, rubs up the baseball, looks around, sees the beautiful ballpark, sold out. And really, this has nothing to do with the length of the game. We're talking about pace of the game. That's all anyone cares about. There are some 3.5-hour games that are great. That was 35 seconds between pitches as Judge fouls it off. This is Traxel-like. Steve Traxel-like.
Boy, they're named from the past. Yeah, he used to take all the time out there, every pitch.
And the funny thing, Paul, is like he was on the team without Leiter, and Leiter said Traxel didn't think he was slow.
Oh, really?
No, he did not think that he was slow at all. He was pitching the way he felt he should pitch.
You should have talked to the infielders and outfielders who are playing behind him, huh? Let him know.
1-2. 2-2.
You know, when you have this much time between pitches, I think it actually helps the batter, Michael. You know, it gets you to there's nothing worse than feeling like you're being rushed as a hitter. And it kind of conveys that the pitcher's confident and they're coming right after you. When you have this much time, I think it actually helps the hitter kind of regroup and every single time with just a clean mind.
The 2-2. High fly ball, right field. It's going to make the seats out of play. Last night's 2-home run game for Judge was his 23rd career multi-home run game, and that's the 6th most in Yankee franchise history. And with the 2 home runs last night, he's up the pace again. He's on pace for 59 home runs for the full season. Really battling Sawamura. Let's take a look at those home runs, Paul.
Well, again, I mean, it's just Aaron Judge being Aaron Judge. Out of front a little bit, but just so strong. He gets that slight uppercut, and see ya.
Seventh multi-home run game this year. Two and two. Line to third. Fired to second. LeCastro got back in time. 2 away.
A great job by LeCastro and a good at bat by Aaron Judge. Hit it on the nose, but it's so easy to cross over as a runner. Your first instinct is to cross over and run, and if you do that, you're caught off second. Good job by LeCastro to watch. He freezes when it's hit, and he's on his way back.
And that'll do it for Sawamura with the left-hander Rizzo coming up. Cora will go to the left-hander in the bullpen. 2 outs in the second. Yankees lead 3-0. Most exciting game so far. Aaron Judge's walk-off home run against the Toronto Blue Jays from May 10th. Watch Yankees Classics Wednesday night at 7 on Yes, New York's most watched sports network, and your home for the first place New York Yankees. Remember that game well. Darwinzon Hernandez will take over to face Anthony Rizzo. Yankees have runners on first and second, 2 men out here in the second inning. If you joined us late, Yankees scored 3 runs in the first inning, giving them 66 first inning runs this year, and that's the most, tied with Minnesota in baseball for most first inning runs. Always nice to get off to a good start. But in that inning, Aaron Hicks with a 106-mile-an-hour comebacker off the pitching hand of Chris Sale. Looked like it broke his pinky. We don't want to play doctor from up here, but it certainly looked mangled. He took himself out of the game immediately, and we're all hoping good things that he gets back in a hurry and doesn't miss any time. But that knocked him out of the game. Sawamura got the final out, then the first 2 outs here in the second, and now they bring in Darwinzon Hernandez to face Rizzo. Rizzo grounded out to first in the first, and he gets pumped. And he flings the bat toward the Yankee dugout as the bases are loaded.
Again, I think this is frustration from Rizzo. I don't know that it's intentional. You could look at the Hernandez reaction, and that usually tells you immediately. But whether it's intentional or not, that's a bad spot. Right in the middle of the back. That hurts.
Yeah, he was not pleased. So here's Gleyber Torres with the bases loaded now. One and 0. One.
Michael, if you look at what Gleyber has done going into the All-Star break, I mean, he really put himself where he should be going to the All-Star game. And I think it kind of it plays against you being with the Yankees this year with 6 people going. You just, as an All-Star manager, you just can't fill the whole team with Yankees. But there, King had an opportunity, and Torres obviously had an opportunity to go to second base.
I'll tell you what, Paul, it doesn't make sense. Altuve was hitting the knee, so he's out. And this seemed like the perfect opportunity to bring up Torres, who has a 3.2 WAR, which is first in the American League. Instead, they chose Espinal from the Blue Jays instead of choosing Torres.
Right. In the back of my mind, I still think it, you know, when you have 6 players going from one team, no matter how good a team it is, it kind of hurts you to step in there like Gleyber could have right here. Deservingly, he should be there. He's had a great couple weeks going in to the All-Star break.
That one's popped up, shallow right, coming on Duran. And that will do it as the Yankees leave the bases loaded. And we go to the third. It's 3-0 Yanks.
Montefiore Einstein, state-of-the-art healthcare in New York City, Westchester, and the Hudson Valley. There is some news on some Yankees pitchers. Luis Severino will be shut down for the next 2 weeks with a right lat strain. Miguel Castro, a 4-week shutdown with shoulder issues. And Ron Marinaccio is set to begin a rehab assignment with the Rail Riders today. Good news for Marinaccio. And Michael, pretty good news when it comes to Severino. Of course, you don't want to see a pitcher land on the IL, but it does not seem as though he is going to be out for an extended period of time. When you go back to 2019, he missed a lot of time with the lat strain, but Aaron Boone continues to say this one is much more mild than that. Even Severino said he does not think it is going to be long.
And also, if the Yankees continue to play well, Meredith, I think it could end up benefiting them if he does come back okay. You take those innings off his arm, because he's pitching innings he hasn't pitched in years, because I believe in the last 3 years combined, he's had 18 total innings, so this could actually work in his favor.
Well, that's the other thing, Michael. They were going to have to find a way to limit his innings in the second half. Not that this is the way you draw it up by any stretch of the imagination, but they would have had to have done something in that front. There are other pitchers in that rotation that their innings are going to need to be watched. But one guy that they will get back is Domingo Germán. He's expected to join the team after the break. Aaron Boone hasn't officially said that he is going to slide into that rotation spot that Severino occupied, but it looks as though that would be a good option for him.
1-2 on Franchi Cordero. You know, I want to further explain the second base situation, Paul. Actually, the next man up after an injury is quite literally formulaic, and it has to do with the fans voting. So since the Blue Jays have the entire country voting for them, they had very high vote totals. So Espinal had more votes than Gleyber Torres. And once Altuve was taken off the team because of injury, then it was Espinal who was next in votes, so he got chosen above Torres, although Torres, obviously, with the WAR that he has in the season he's having, probably deserves it more as Cordero goes down on strikes.
Yeah, there's not a perfect formula, Michael, for the All-Star game. Every year there's some guys that end up being there that shouldn't be, and there's a ton of guys that have had good years right on the edge that don't get the opportunity to go. So, you know, I think they have improved by taking the right players, but there's never going to be a perfect answer for everybody.
Now, also, Espinal was not only next up in the fan voting, he was also next up on player balloting. And I guess a lot of the players haven't really seen the season that Gleyber Torres is having. 0-2 on Jackie Bradley Jr. 4 strikeouts for Cole, 7 up, 7 down so far on this Sunday afternoon. And there's a base hit through the left side of the infield. So Jackie Bradley Jr. with a 1-out single. That breaks an 0 for 14 slide for him, Paul.
Well, we've talked about Jackie Bradley and his issues offensively. I mean, one of the better defensive center fielders in the game, but, you know, just slaps one the other way. Nobody in the picture, nobody home. Ball up in the strike zone, and you see kind of a level swing around it, but put it in play, you got a chance. surprises me about Jackie Bradley Jr. looking at, I mean, he has great speed. We talked about his defensive skills. Only has 2 stolen bases to this point this year.
Maybe that's a product of not being on that much.
Didn't have a lot of opportunities. Is that what you're saying?
That hit made him now 5 for his last 51. Keeping him close. You know, coming into this game, the bottom 5 in the Red Sox order, starting with Verdugo, 0 for his last 8. Vasquez, 0 for his last 6. Cordero, 0 for 14. Bradley, 0 for 14. Jeter Downs, 0 for 14. So, we mentioned this on Friday. At this point, there's a little bit of a top-heavy lineup. One and one on Downs.
You got to figure when you look at this lineup, Michael, you are going to give up your runs in the first 4 or 5 guys, and then all of a sudden, you know, you look at the way that the Red Sox won Game 1. You know, Dahlback hitting in the 8th spot, coming in right around 200, hits a home run. So you got beat by, you know, one of the hitters that shouldn't beat you.
High fly ball, deep left field. Hicks back, track, wall, see ya. The first big league home run for Jeter Downs, a 2-run shot, and the Yankees lead 3-2.
Didn't you say Derek Jeter texted him and said good luck in your career, just not against the Yankees? I guess he didn't listen.
Jackie, where you going, buddy? Oh, boy.
Breaking balls with not a lot of bite usually end up in the seats.
Well, Downs is fortunate that ball was caught by a Red Sox fan. Well, maybe he's not fortunate. That's why it wasn't thrown back into the field. He's had to do some negotiating. And also, the Red Sox team greeted him with total silence in the dugout. First big league home run. And then finally they descended upon him.
I was kind of looking at what type of player he was, because he hasn't had a lot of opportunity, obviously, here in the major leagues. You go back to 2019 in the minor leagues, you know, he had 24 home runs and 24 stolen bases. So he is a power guy with some speed, and he will give. He didn't even get the laundry basket. He'll high five people if they don't want to even talk to him.
One and two on Duran. Swing and a foul ball. Yep, that's the kind of smile that you have. And then obviously this might be the picture that Jeter Downs gets if he doesn't get the baseball. His first big league hit was against the Yankees, Derek Jeter's former team. And now his first big league homer at Yankee Stadium against the Yankees. Baseball gods, I guess, have a little bit of a sense of humor. So 2-2 on the leadoff hitter, Jarren Duran. Swing and a miss. Duran down on strikes. Strikeout number 5 for Cole.
Well, he hasn't thrown a lot of them, but the change-ups that he has thrown, he's got swing and misses. Another good one while tailing down and away.
Here's another matchup that you want to keep an eye on. Cole against Devers. First pitch knocked him down, then he struck out, threw him all fastballs. Now, he gave up 2 home runs at Fenway in his last start to Devers. And after the game, Cole said, I wish I made him swing at least one fastball. And then Garrett's wife, Amy, who was on the 2010 UCLA World Series softball team, she said, man, I wanted that heat. And he listened to his wife and threw fastballs. You know, Garrett Cole's
really
game plan against Devers is to throw fast inside. He doesn't want to hit him. He wants him to swing at the pitch inside.
Well, so far today, that's been the the MO is I'm going to establish the ball inside, and then I can throw that ball away. You get a hitter looking inside, you start creeping open. See that front hip starting to open up a little too quick, and then all of a sudden that outside part of the plate becomes the pitcher's.
Take a look at the Audi electric moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today. First pitch knocked him down, and then he came with heat. More heat. And struck him out on heat. Right in on the hands, foul back. 99 miles an hour. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Devers struck out in the first inning. And Cole deals. Missed outside with the fastball, 3-2. Aaron Boone was lamenting before the game about how the Yankees have been really unable to control Devers. He said somebody has. He has just 22 home runs, so he doesn't hit them all the time. Line drive. Right at Rizzo. So Devers hit it hard, but right at the Yankee first baseman to end the inning. The Jeter Downs home run, his first big league blast. A 2-run shot brings the Red Sox closer, 3-2 Yankees. Bought by Hyundai. To learn about Hyundai's advanced technology and award-winning safety, visit buyhyundai.com. By NYU Langone Health. And by FanDuel Sportsbook, make every moment more. Great players have participated in this rivalry. And Matt Carpenter will lead off, and he's part of another note. Most home runs first 20 starts with the Yankees. He's now surpassed Shane Spencer, who did that in 1998. Glenn Allen Hill also hit 11. And Gary Sanchez had 10 in 2016. If you go back a little bit further, in 1990, Kevin Moss had 8. Now, Meredith, you spoke to Carpenter last night, and you know, when he did the on-field interview with Ken Rosenthal on Fox, he was pretty emotional.
He was, and I asked him about the curtain call, his first here at Yankee Stadium, and he paused when I asked him about it, and you could tell he was collecting his thoughts. It meant an awful lot to him. You have to remember, this is a guy who requested his release from the Rangers on May 19th and was sitting on his couch not knowing if anyone would call. And last night he said, I was preparing for the fact that my baseball career could be over. He really did not know what the future was going to hold. even coming over here with the Yankees, he didn't really know how much opportunity he would get, how long he would stick. But now he said he is appreciating it so much more, knowing that he kind of saw what life would be like without baseball, not knowing if he would get that opportunity. It's allowing him to savor every opportunity he has been able to get for the Yankees this year. And they certainly like having him, Paul. I spoke to Aaron Judge, and he said it's just been seamless the way he has fit into that clubhouse. Veteran leadership, goes about his business, and let's not forget, he is producing at a very high rate.
I'll tell you another thing that it does is, you know, Aaron Judge on this pace of home runs, and when you get other stories like Carpenter and Stanton's hitting his home runs and the everyday wins of the Yankees, you know, Aaron Judge doesn't have to talk about his home runs every single day. And are you going to catch Babe Ruth? Are you going to catch Roger Maris? You know, by the team playing this well and this many guys and this many stories going along, I think it helps Aaron Judge also.
So here's Aaron Hicks. So you were saying, Meredith, that he was sitting on his couch not certain if anyone would call.
And not that many teams called, at least not teams offering him a major league opportunity. There were only a few. And when he had heard that the Yankees were one of those teams, they had actually been in touch in the offseason. It didn't work out. He was excited about the opportunity, going from not knowing if he was ever playing again to the best team in baseball. He'll even admit, when does that happen? That's a fairy tale type of situation.
I was just thinking, that sounds like a lot of my high school Saturday nights.
Just sitting alone on the couch?
Wonder if anyone was going to call.
Did they ever?
Well, Jody called eventually.
Took a couple years, but you landed a good one. Good for you.
Hey, the old Sadie Hawkins dances weren't of your high moments, Michael? Is that what you're saying?
You never
Nothing
had
worse than sitting on.
You never had stress at all, Paul. You knew Neverly since you were 5. You didn't have to go through this.
Exactly. I didn't even have to ask. It was just assumed. We were going to every dance together.
Some people just have it easy, Michael.
Yep.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, that's a bad. I got a little sad story going in my mind. I just see you on your couch staring at the phone and it's not ringing.
Yep.
That's terrible.
There you two are at the prom.
That's a new picture, right? Wow.
You still have that same suit. I know that, right? I've seen that.
Yeah, a little corduroy that I stole from my older brother. I thought it was really cool, too.
Two. I actually think, Meredith, Paul's legitimately choked up from my high school years. He's sad.
I think had it not worked out the way that it's now worked out for you, he'd be very concerned. Sitting alone there wondering, what is this man doing every night?
Hey, you know, Michael, sometimes you're a winner early in life, and sometimes it just takes a while. It just took you a few years, you know?
Hicks works a walk with 1 out. So 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Yankees lead 3-2, and here's Cora out of the dugout. And he's going to call for another arm as IKF is due up. Yankees have a 1-run lead. Cora goes to the bullpen. 4th pitcher used by the Red Sox coming on. Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. And by Ford, the official truck of the Yankees. Well, this will be the 4th pitcher used by the Red Sox, and here's why. Chris Sale on the comebacker off the bat of Aaron Hicks. Looked like it got his pinky, and he walked off the mound immediately. Obviously, the pinky looks somewhat mangled, and everyone who's a baseball fan, whether you're a Yankee fan or whatever, you don't want to see Chris Sale get hurt. You want to see pitchers like Chris Sale pitch. So he got knocked out of the game. They brought in Sawamura, then Hernandez, and now Ryan Brazier. And Alex Cora has really used his bullpen a lot. He's had to. Fortunately for him, he has the All-Star break coming up. And for the Red Sox, it is a 4-day All-Star break. So he can reset his pen. Now, the Yankees originally had 4 days on the schedule, but with the lockout at the beginning of the year, and here's what the Red Sox have done with the bullpen. And they're up against it, but looks like they will be able to fashion these innings for sure. Anyway, the Yankees had a 4-day All-Star break, but with the lockout, they had to make up the games against the Astros and the Rangers. So the Thursday of the All-Star break is now a day-night doubleheader in Houston against the Astros. And it looks as if Montgomery and last night's starter, Jameson Taillon, will make the starts against Houston in that doubleheader. And if you think about it, Paul, that really does take a lot of rest time away from the Yankees. First of all, you've got 6 guys in the All-Star game, so they've got to make their way to Houston. And then the Yankees are flying out of the New York area on Wednesday, so you lose that off day, and then you play on Thursday. Now, if you had the 4 original days off, the next game would have been Friday in Baltimore, which is a short train ride, so it does have an effect. But after the Baltimore series, they do have a day off.
The only negative, if you think about it, and any time you make the All-Star game, it's an unbelievable honor. But, you know, to get onto a plane in New York and fly to Los Angeles, that's not the easiest trip, you know, and then halfway back at the end, back to Houston.
Grounded up the middle. Bogarts one on the first. It's a double play. So Brazier gets kind of left going into a 6-6-3. DP will go to the 4th. Love captains Derek Jeter, Thurman Munson, and Don Mattingly run or walk a total of 40 miles this summer in the Virtual United Captain's Challenge and receive a captain's kit with the first 1,000 registrants receiving a Thurman Munson bobblehead. Net proceeds will be directed to the Yankee Foundations in support of the communities they serve. Learn more by visiting Yankees.com/runyankees. Bogarts leads off against Cole, and there's a strike as we start the 4th inning.
You know what I noticed in that picture of Mattingly, Michael? I notice weird things because it takes me back to my playing days, and it's just he had Franklin gloves on and he had a Saranac sweatband on, which was really weird because usually you would sign with a company and you see that sweatband, that's an old Saranac, and then he had the Franklin gloves, so everybody knew. But you were usually, as a player, your sweatbands and your gloves were the same company. Just letting you know, Michael.
These are the things that jump out at you. Wow.
Exactly. I was an Easton guy, so I had Easton sweatbands. I had Easton gloves. My whole career. Just get so used to certain merchandise and certain companies that you know, you just don't go away from them.
2-2 on Bogarts, who grounded out to 3rd in the 1st. 5 strikeouts, no walks for Cole. He did give up a 2-run home run to Jeter down, so it's 3-2 Yankees here in the 4th. Grounded to short. Kiner-Falefa across the diamond. 1 away. So let's check out. There's your Easton.
Yeah, Easton on the right and the old Saranac on the left with the Reds. See, once you change and things go a little bit better, you stick with the Easton, huh?
The Saranac still exists?
Though, Michael.
Does it still exist?
I don't know. That's an old company.
Well, once you left them, they probably said, what's the use?
Yeah, I hear you.
Here's J.D. Martinez. Do you have any of that stuff remaining in your house? I mean, do you have old batting gloves and stuff like that?
Yeah, a little bit, not a lot of batting gloves, but gloves. I have a ton of those and a couple that you obviously use. I would only use 1 glove a year. You'd break in 1 glove in spring training, and you know, by the end of the year, it was pretty much a rag, but it was what you were comfortable with. So yeah, I still have some gloves, some bats. Not a lot of batting gloves and stuff, though.
Now, do the sneaker company still send you sneakers, or do you have to actually go to a Foot Locker and buy them?
Yeah, that's the worst part when you retire is you lose your you know, my family used to just love Christmas time. You'd get the Nike catalog, and that was their present. They could just pick out what they wanted. I mean, it couldn't get better.
1-2.
I tell you what has really changed over the years, Michael, is, you know, there was one bat when I got into the major leagues, and it was Louisville Slugger. Then Adirondack came on. Now there are so many different bat companies. Cooper came along with the Ash bat from Canada, and it's just, I bet there's 12 to 15 different bat companies now. And seriously, there were 20 years ago there were 2 or 3, and it's just you know, certain players do well with a bat, and then the whole league wants to use them. You know.
J.D. Martinez goes down looking. 6th strikeout for Cole.
Again, this is supposed to be the tough inning. A quick out with Bogarts, and now a strikeout with Martinez. And you got Verdugo coming to the plate, and then the bottom of the order. So Garrett Cole looking good here.
And we solved the mystery, Paul. Saranac still running, and it's a company out of Green Bay. Verdugo takes low, 1-0. So Jack Curry tells me, Paul, that you used 2 types of Louisville Sluggers in your career, only 2, and one was a Rod Carew model.
That's what I ended up using in New York. And it's funny because bat labels and numbers, C243 was Rod Carew. The bat I used in Cincinnati was an M110, which was Mickey Mantle. And it just, as I got over here, I just felt like the bigger barrel, but the Rod Carew model, the C243, just had more of a kind of a bottle bat, like a bigger barrel. I felt like it just looked better in my hands once I started using it.
1-2 on Verdugo. 3-2, Yankees lead the Red Sox, top of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss. 7 strikeouts in 4 innings for Garrett Cole as the Red Sox go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-2 Yanks. From FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now and start making every moment more. Well, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Rubber game of this 3-game set. Final game of the nominal first half of the baseball season. All-Star break starts right after the game. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Yankees, starting with Tim LeCastro against Ryan Brazier. And there's a strike. Oh, 2. Line drive. It is a base hit. Trapped by Verdugo, and LeCastro with a leadoff single.
A ball hit well, sinking line drive. Verdugo, I don't know how this ball did not get by him. I mean, he was very fortunate to end up in his glove, because this is a triple with LeCastro's speed. If it gets by him, you see his glove gets turned just to knock it down at this point, and he just kind of smothers it.
Well, LeCastro stole the bases last time. Let's see what he does here. With Higashioka due up, Verdugo checking the chart, see where he should be standing. That's the Yankees' 4th hit, 2 of them by LeCastro. Too much time taken, so Higashioka steps out.
Michael, I don't know if you noticed, but Braves are not even looking over at LeCastro, and sometimes pitchers, instead of peeking over, will actually get signs from the third base, and third baseman will, you know, flick his glove or something if he wants to sees him leaning or something like that. And you know, you saw Murrah earlier just looking and looking, and sometimes pitchers will just read the third baseman.
Runner goes, and another stolen base for LeCastro. Almost overslid the bag, but kept connection. So LeCastro on second, nobody out.
Well, he's fun. I mean, they brought him to a complete stop, but he's getting good jumps and he's got good wheels, and it's just fun to watch this part of the game from Tim LeCastro.
So now Higashioka whistled to step out by the third base coach Luis Rojas. So that's the 63rd stolen base for the New York Yankees, and that ties their entire 2021 total. And that's why Rojas whistled, because it looks like they want Higashioka to bunt him over.
Well, they give it the opportunity, and it's, you know, you're going to get him over. Either way, we want you to get this runner over. If you want to bunt him over, or whether you want inside out a ground ball to the right side, it's up to you. But as a hitter, you know, your only job right here is to move him over.
Ground ball to short, knocked down by Bogaerts. Throw to third, they don't get him, so he does move him over unconventionally and also reaches.
He's very fortunate. LeCastro got a good jump, and he has that good a speed. Bogaerts, if he comes up with this ball cleanly, probably has a play, but he got around the ball and ended up pulling it with a big break by the Yankees. Now nobody out, a couple runners on.
And they give Higashioka a hit. So first and third, Red Sox will play for the double play with LeMahieu at the plate. LeMahieu has doubled and walked and scored a run. And a strike. Hit right field. LeCastro scores. Higashioka will go to third. It's an RBI single for the red-hot LeMahieu, and it's 4-2 Yankees.
There's probably one guy right there that doesn't need an all-star break. This is as good as he's swung the bat all year. Just at bat after at bat. Great position. Inside outs this ball. And again, this is just, I'm not saying easy, but this is easy for DJ LeMahieu to hit the ball to right field. I always love that approach with men on third base. It's just an easier way to get a sure fly ball than a possible base hit.
So here's Aaron Judge, hit by Pitt, scored, also lined out to Devers. A strike. Jake Diekman, one of the three lefties in the Red Sox bullpen. Big cut, 0-2. The RBI single by LeMahieu was 35th ribby. And the Yankees' 6th hit. One and two on Judge. Hit sharply, a base hit through the left side. Higashioka scores. Moving to second, LeMahieu. Judge with an RBI single, his 70th ribby of the year, and the Yankees lead 5-2.
Well, you can count on one hand, Michael, how many times Aaron Judge will see 3 fastballs consecutively in a count, and that's the way this went. Frazier tried to get another one by him, got around it, hooked it to the left side in the hole. Another RBI. He just continues to add numbers to this magical season he's had. So you watch it in Super Shot.
Well, this is not a replay. Cora's coming out again, signaling to the bullpen. He's going to bring in Diekman to face Rizzo. Yankees runners on first and second, nobody out, and they are up in this one. First, when the Yankees host the Kansas City Royals for a great promotional giveaway. It's Yankees Collectible Ring Day, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees collectible ring courtesy of Betteridge Jewelers. So you don't want to miss this giveaway. Get your tickets today at yankees.com/tickets. New pitcher for the Red Sox is Jake Diekman, the 5th pitcher used by Alex Cora. 39th game for Diekman, who's having a good year. Perhaps a bit too many walks. Red Sox also just announced that Sale suffered a left 5th finger fracture. So I guess they count the fingers from the thumb. So the left 5th finger is the pinky, which we kind of diagnosed from up here. Just an awful break for the Red Sox and for Sale, who has battled back to get healthy and get back on the mound. Only his 2nd start off the IL. Diekman against Rizzo, 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Yankees lead by 3, 5-2. 1-0. Now, we never like to speculate about injuries, but it really wasn't that hard to tell when you look at that pinky after Hicks's drive off the hand. Two and 0.
Maybe we'd have to talk to David Cone about this, but you know, obviously a pitcher, other than the changeup, really the pinky doesn't come into play as far as gripping the baseball. Obviously there's going to be pain when it's dislocated like that, so you would think that you know, possibly you could cut down the rehab somewhat because there's not that much force on the pinky throwing the baseball.
Well, David Cone suffered a terrible injury to that pinky on his throwing hand when he tried to bunt against the Giants' Atlee Hammaker. And to this day, David's finger is at an awful angle. You know, if you look at your hand, his pinky looks like it's at a right angle from the side of his hand. He never got it fixed, Paul, and obviously it never affected the way he pitched. But when you shake his hand, it's, you know, the pinky's kind of like not involved in the exchange.
It's not part of it?
No. A 4-pitch walk to Rizzo, and that'll load the bases for Gleyber Torres.
If you're Alex Cora, this has got to drive you crazy. You bring in a lefty to face a lefty, 4 consecutive balls. Now you've got bases loaded. And the Yankees are on the brink of breaking this thing open again.
So Torres, an RBI ground out in the 1st, also scored a run, then a fly ball to right. That was with the bases loaded, final out of the 2nd. So he has the bases loaded again. Nobody out. Red Sox have the shortstop and second baseman halfway. They're in at the corners. LeMahieu's at 3rd, Judge at 2nd, Rizzo is at 1st. Oh, and 2. Swing and a miss. Torres chased the pitch way out of the zone and strikes out for the first out of the inning.
You said it, Michael. Ball outside the strike zone. Diekman did a good job by elevating and trying to get a swing and a miss up there, and it worked. The bat head just underneath the baseball, not able to stay on top of that high fastball.
So here's Matt Carpenter. 1-0. Matt has an RBI ground out in the first, struck out in the third, so 32 ribbies for Carpenter. In the lineup today against the lefty Sale, only his third start against the left-hander. You know, an amazing stat about Carpenter, he had 7 home runs in 2020 and 2021 and 418 plate appearances. He has 13 in 94 plate appearances this year. And he's actually hit lefties very well, as you could tell. 5 of his home runs against left-handers and far fewer bats. 1-2, and Carpenter does not like that call by Visconti.
Well, if you break down his swing, Michael, there's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of anything. I mean, it's just right there, and he just dropped the bat head on the baseball, and that's why it gives him a chance against lefties also. I mean, it's very simple, and it's amazing to me that he is able to create that much bat speed and drive the ball. Dead pull hitter, and he knows his swing now. And if the pitcher, you know, does not hit his spots, Carpenter's going to hurt you.
Two and 2 on Carpenter. 3-2. You know, Aaron Boone mentioned this before the game, Paul, how he works against lefties. He does not make it an easy at bat for a left-handed pitcher. So big spot for Diekman and the Red Sox. Yankees up 5-2, bottom of the fourth. Line drive, it's a base hit down the right field line. LeMahieu scores. Judge scores. Rizzo will stop at third. Oh, he's done it again. Matt Carpenter with a 2-run double, and the Yankees lead 7-2.
Well, he just keeps on doing what he's doing, Michael. And again, I mean, you get in a hitter's count, you make a mistake just a little bit out over the plate, and Matt Carpenter straight to the baseball and just lines it down the line, off to the races. So there's just no movement, just kind of post up and just drop the bat head. That's why he loves to pull the baseball. Two-seamer didn't quite get to the inside corner. It's just ripped.
So 34 ribbies for Carpenter. 3 today. He had 7 last night. Infield in. The pitch is a strike to Hicks. Well, Paul, let me throw this out there. A little crazy, but if there's another player that's in the All-Star game that goes down injured, what a great story for the majors if you put Matt Carpenter on that team.
Well, if you put the production, if you add it all up, production per at bat, I mean, he's leading the world. So yeah, obviously, if somebody else went down, you would have to consider him because he has been amazing for the Yankees.
And you know, the All-Star break and the All-Star game is about telling great stories, and this is one of the great stories that you'll ever see. This guy was just done for the last 2 years. And now he's become just a weapon for the Yankees, and they're the only team that wanted to give him a major league deal. 1-1 on Hicks. Now 1-2 has an infield single. That's the ball that broke the pinky of Sale. Got an RBI in that in the first, and then walked in the third. The 1-2 fouled away.
Michael, I'll make a bet with you that Matt Carpenter, you know, baseball players are somewhat superstitious. I don't think that mustache is going anywhere. What do you think?
I would agree. I don't think that lampblack is going anywhere either. And as a starter, look at these numbers: 389, 13, and 34. And the OPS is just amazing. Check swing, ground ball. Well, we've told the story. He has children. I think his oldest child is 6 years old. She had never seen him without a beard. And when he signed with the Yankees, obviously the beard had to go. She didn't even recognize him. So the mustache is the last remnants of the full beard.
Mm-hmm.
Line to right field. Duran coming on. He can't make the play. Rizzo will score. Moving to third, Carpenter. It's an RBI single for Hicks. And it's 8-2 Yanks.
Aaron Hicks had some really good at-bats today. And again, runners in scoring position. Just keep the line moving. Duran not able to come up with it. That ball could be caught. But fortunately for Aaron Hicks, was not. Great piece of hitting. Ball down and away. That's what you just hope. Let me see that thing hit the grass. Yes. Tough read from Rizzo. He's going to get back. He's going to get back. Well, now he sees it on the grass. Scores easily.
So Dave Bush, the pitching coach, comes out and talks with Diekman. And Meredith, you have a mustache update on Carpenter?
Well, you were mentioning his daughter. He has two kids, Kinley and Cannon, and his wife allegedly likes the mustache. I haven't talked to her directly, but he said it's not going anywhere anytime soon. He likes it. The wife likes it. Paul, you know, happy wife, happy life, right? That's the way it goes.
It does make things a lot easier. Yes.
I think Yankee Universe likes it.
In life.
Could you imagine if he walked into the clubhouse without the mustache one day?
People would be shocked.
Up in arms.
Well, the mustaches work for him. It's worked for Nestor. Inside 2-0 to Connor Faletta.
You know, Michael, you kind of touched on this, and it's really an amazing stat that, you know, as much as the Red Sox have struggled, you would never think it'd be this bad. You have to play well within your own division. Going into today, they are 0-9-1 in 10 series against the American League East. They are just getting beat up by their own division.
High fly ball off the bat of Ikea. Verdugo is there. Catch is made. Tagging is Hicks. Goes about halfway, and we'll head back. And scoring, Carpenter on the sac fly, and now the Yankees lead 9-2.
I mean, this just looks so business-like, Michael. I mean, you get a big home run here or there, but you know, they just have kept the line moving today as far as base hits, stolen bases, tacking on runs. All of a sudden, you look up at the scoreboard. If you're Alex Cora, it's 9-2, and you know you're emptying your bullpen, and there's really no options.
Pitch outside to LaCastro. He started this with a single and a stolen base, opening the inning. 6 runs in, runner on first base, 2 men out. No one warming for the Red Sox. Nine 9-0 for the Yanks, 2-2-1 for the Red Sox. High drive, left field and deep. Going back for Dugo, turning, looking. How about that? See ya! A 2-run home run for LeCastro, and the Yankees are pouring it on. They lead 11-2.
How's this for a little spot start, huh? Tim LeCastro having quite a day for a little spot start here. Aaron Boone, I mean, when you just shuffle the lineup, you want to give Big G an extra day. Let's play LeCastro. Then you get a good day out of him. I mean, these are the types of things that happen. Oh, nice little bat flip to go with it.
Well, he gave that a ride into the Red Sox bullpen. Here's Kyle Higashioka. All the way to the backstop. So Diekman, who has decent numbers, is really getting hit by the Yankees. And here's a swing that made it 11-2.
You can see in the super slow shot there, they're right off the barrel. He kind of pulled his hands in to put it on the barrel, but plenty of distance to get out of Yankee Stadium.
So LeCastro 3 for 3. That's his second home run. He has 2 stolen bases today, 2 runs scored this inning. And the Yankees have their 16th game of 10 or more runs.
Michael, you look at LeCastro there, that's definitely the young man's hairstyle. There, you know, they take it real low on the sides. You know, you get to our age, right? Well, you try to keep every hair you have in your head, right? You don't shave it down.
I'm thinking about getting a haircut tomorrow. Maybe I'll go with that.
That's right. Little taper job on the side.
Yeah. Well, we told you 16th game with 10 or more runs for the Yankees. No other team has more than 10 of these sorts of games. So you know this Yankee lineup is explosive. Outside 2-2. How about Chris Sale back on the bench?
Well, with a broken finger, I mean, much more you can do other than splint it and hope that it heals quickly.
We're in the 4th inning, and this is the number 9 hitter, Kyle Higashioka's third at bat. (3-2). They walked him. Yankees still not giving away any at bats as Higashioka works a walk with 2 outs. Back to the top of the lineup, and LeMahieu.
Yeah, I think everybody's trying to cash in here, Michael, before the All-Star break. Get all you can. You say you can't take it away from you, right? You might as well throw up the numbers while you can.
Yeah, I think that Boone has put it very well, Paul, about the Yankees' great first half. He said, we've made a lot of deposits. He said, and when you make deposits, that means you've got some room for withdrawal. And the Yankees have been somewhat sluggish over the last week or so, and that was a time of withdrawal. And they still have a very, very large lead in the American League East, and they have the best record in baseball. So keep making deposits, Paul. Caleb Orr warming. So the Red Sox, as a staff, the 5 pitchers have now thrown. This pitch will be the 119th. Remember David Cohn's perfect game that he threw in '99? He threw 88 pitches. You know, you look at Sale there, Paul, and we don't know how long he's going to be out. Hopefully it's not long. But when you look at the standings, the Red Sox right now are not one of the 3 wildcard teams. So if it's a significant injury to Sale where he's going to miss a significant amount of time, does that turn the Red Sox into sellers? There's a lot of players on their team that can be free agents at the end of the year. Be interesting to see how they approach this. 3-2 now on LeMahieu.
Yeah, I just, they're too close to being in. I mean, they've had a horrific stretch going into this series. And, you've got Eovaldi over there just coming back. You were hoping for big things from Sale. Obviously, the trade deadline coming up. So, there is one thing that's like common with the Red Sox is they can score runs. So if they get some decent pitching, they're going to be in the mix for that wild card.
Well, they didn't get it in this inning. The hits just kept on coming. Big hits, RBI hits from the least likely people and from some likely ones as well. When the carnage was done, the Yankees had an 11-2 lead. Austin Riley is now on the National League All-Star team, and look at what he's done in the last 17 games. Juan Soto reportedly turned down a 15-year, $440 million extension, and there are reports that he will now possibly be traded, as the Nationals will listen. They had repeatedly said they wouldn't listen. And the Mariners, how about that? A 13-game win streak for Seattle. Another long half inning on the bench for Cole, but he doesn't mind. He has a 9-run lead as we go to the 5th. And the first pitch is a strike to Vasquez. Top of the 5th inning, Yankees lead 11-2. Red Sox have lost 9 of their last 12 games. So the Red Sox thrust themselves back into contention with a phenomenal June. But at the same time, the Yankees are also having a great June. So the Red Sox didn't gain much ground on them. No ground, actually. But they gained ground in the wild card. Now that's Cole's first pitch since 3:08. And it's 3:45. There's a ground ball to first. Rizzo flips to Cole to get Vasquez. So now the Red Sox have struggled here in July just a bit, and they're losing ground in the wild card because of that. Tanner Houck warming up for the Red Sox. Here's Franchi Cordero. And there's a strike.
Yeah, Michael, if this game continues, you're going to run out of options out in that bullpen. You're going to see an everyday player start heating up here to try to finish this thing out if the Yankees continue to tack on runs.
Skied the other way. And the count 0-2. So one mistake by Cole, and that was hit by Jeter Downs into the seats and left. A 2-run home run in the 3rd. That made it 3-2 Yankees, but the Yankees with 8 runs in the 4th inning have given Cole a lot of breathing room. 3 more RBIs by Matt Carpenter. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 for Cole. And Cole's 8th strikeout is brought to you by your Tri-State Audi dealers. Stop in to see the redesigned 2022 Audi A8 today.
A wicked breaking ball right there, and it's so susceptible, left-handed hitters, to that knuckle curve down and in. It's where lefties like the ball, especially in the Yankee Stadium, down and in. Well, that ends up down and in the dirt.
One and 0 on Bradley. Chop foul. And the pitch. Fouled away. We're in the 5th inning. It's 11-10-0 for the Yanks. 2-2-1 for the Red Sox. The only 2 hits, a single by Bradley with 1 out in the 3rd, followed by the Downs 2-run home run. Fly ball shallow center. And it's caught by IKF for the final out of the inning. So 8 in a row retired by Cole as the Red Sox go down in order. We're halfway through. Yankees lead 11-2. And the Liberty hit the road for a matinee matchup with the Connecticut Sun. Coverage starts early at 11:30 a.m. on Yes, New York's most watched sports network, in your home for the Liberty and the first place New York Yankees. Looks like another full house here at Yankee Stadium, and they're enjoying an 11-2 Yankee lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 11-10-0 for the Yanks, 2-2-1 for the Red Sox. And Judge, Rizzo, and Torres will hit in the bottom of the 5th. New catcher for the Red Sox, Kevin Plawecki, taking over for Vasquez, who could start his All-Star break a little bit earlier. And now Tanner Houck will come on for the Sox. And he is the 6th pitcher used by Alex Cora. So Judge is 1 for 2. 2 runs scored, an RBI. A base hit for Judge. So Judge was in a little bit of a slump, and he has really picked it up with 3 hits yesterday. He's got a couple of hits today, had 2 home runs yesterday as well. And the average is back up to 284.
Yeah, it just looks like he's waiting a little bit longer, letting the ball travel a little bit longer. You know, he's always been a guy that drives off his back foot. And to do that, you really have to kind of wait and trust that you'll get to it. And Aaron Judge, I tell you, when he starts getting things rolling, beautiful swing.
So here's Anthony Rizzo. Fly ball left field. Verdugo is there. 1 away. Hey, congratulations to Gleyber Torres on being voted the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. And these are the numbers from July 2nd to the 12th. That's 8 games, 457, 5 doubles, 5 ribbies, 7 runs scored, a great OPS. And he is the Player of the Week. And he's also at the plate. He has made an out with the bases loaded twice today. Has an RBI ground out, but he's 0 for 3. Has a 9-game hitting streak working. 1-0.
Michael, just looking at the game notes, let's go back to 1941 in this day in baseball. 67,000 people attended the game in Cleveland. You know why? Because Joe DiMaggio hitting streak was gone, and it ended today.
Diving play by Duran. Take a base hit away from Torres. Yeah, Kenny Keltner, the third baseman of the Indians, made 2 great plays to end the 56-game streak.
You know, it's amazing that when you read on here, then he went on another 16-game hitting streak right after that. So it was actually 72 out of 73 games Joe DiMaggio had hits in. I mean, that is amazing stuff.
And the closest that anybody has come was Pete Rose at 44 in a row in 1978, and that's what he hit during the streak, 408. Also, there's a story attached to this. Paul DiMaggio was ready to collect on a big endorsement deal. Hines, 57, was going to pay him a lot of money if he had the 57-game hitting streak.
Oh, so
and Kenny Keltner, took it away.
That must have been an exciting time, because I remember the Pete Rose. I mean, growing up in the Midwest, I would run to the front porch to get the paper back when you'd look at the box scores and the games were on TV, just to see if Pete Rose got a hit the night before, and it just kept going and going. And he ended up hitting a bullet his last at bat in Atlanta, where his streak ended.
Now, a story that Phil Rizzuto actually told today's director, Michael Cooney, who used to work with Phil at WPIX, that after he had the streak stop, DiMaggio asked Phil, "Can I borrow some money? I don't have any money with me." And he went with Phil's money and drank alone because he was so upset that the streak ended. 3-1 on Matt Carpenter. 3 more ribbies for Carpenter. Had a 2-run double in the Yankees' 8-run 4th inning.
Imagine Joe D walking into a bar by himself after that. Give me a Manhattan. I'm just kind of like, that's what you got to drink back then, right?
3-1, and Carpenter with a walk. Now, I know the final at bat for Pete Rose in the 44-game hit streak, he struck out, I think, against Gene Garber, who threw him a breaking ball, and Pete was not happy.
Yeah.
That he threw him a breaking ball.
Talked about it.
Yep.
Yep.
Ground ball to first, Cordero over to Houck, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Let's go to the 6th inning, 11-2 Yankees. Einstein scoreboard. Yankees lead 11-2 over the Red Sox. So unless the Red Sox put together quite a comeback, they would have gone the entire first half of the season without winning a series against a team in the American League East. That's hard to believe, and they're also over 500. So if they lose this game, they're 48-45, but they would be 0-10-1 in 11 series against the American League East. And the one split was the 4 games last weekend against the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Jeter Downs. Takes pitch outside from Cole. And there are the records against the East. Cole had a forever moment by hitting his first home run in the big leagues in the 3rd inning against Cole, or Downs did. The 1-1. Downs only the 2nd player to hit his first career home run against Cole. Christian Yelich the other. Now, there have been some Red Sox that have done it. First home run against the Yankees. Xander Bogaerts is one. Babe Ruth is another. Babe hit his first home run as a member of the Red Sox against the Yankees. Ken Brett, Reggie Smith, Pumpsy Green, Bobby Doerr.
Pumpsy Green.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Now, my broadcast partner for the doubleheader in Houston on Thursday, Cameron Maben, hit his first home run in the big leagues against the Yankees. It was against Andy Pettit. That one's hit sharply inside third, kicks off the sidewall. Hicks plays it out there, but it doesn't kick out to him all the way, as Downs has a double to start off the sixth.
Well, Downs having quite a day offensively. As the Red Sox kind of getting beat up at Downs, this will be a day for him to remember in his young career.
So broke a slump with the 2-run home run, now with the double. And here is Duran. Well, this is the fan that caught Jeter Downs' home run. And security talked to him, and obviously they're going to try to make a deal with him. So I would assume that Jeter Downs is going to get that home run ball. Some trade will be made.
Back to the negotiating table. What can I get for this ball? Much more important to Jeter Downs, obviously.
0-2.
Put
Well,
yourself in his
that cell
shoes,
phone is
Michael.
lighting up, you know.
What are you looking for? You know, a bat from somebody, or I mean, what are you looking for? What's your negotiation tactics here? What are you going for to give that ball up?
Well, it's the kid's first home run, so I don't think that you should really be going crazy as Duran strikes out. But I would probably ask for a bat. I would ask for a jersey, autographed, and I would ask, I guess, for the most famous player in the Red Sox, you choose that and get a signed ball from him.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same lines. I mean, you possibly want a Jeter Downs. He might become a star, but then, you know, if you're a Red Sox fan, what obviously he is with his jersey on in Yankee Stadium, you know, you got to go for Bogart or Devers or Martinez.
Now, I'm sure the Red Sox could reach out and get a David Ortiz bat, you know, going to the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, very nice.
One 1-0 on Devers. So again, matchup number 3 between Devers and Cole. A strikeout of Devers in the first, and then Devers hit a hard line drive to Rizzo in the third. So far he's kept them under control. You know, the thing that really amazed Cole, Paul, is that he said even the best hitters in the world, they make out 7 out of 10 times. He said he doesn't seem like he does that against me. He said even in batting practice they hit line drives right at fielders. He goes, but not him.
There are matchups like that, and it's really weird how it happens. And there were matchups that guys that I didn't even like facing, that you just had great numbers, and then guys that you couldn't wait to get in the batter's box, and you would hit a ball hard and it'd go at somebody.
That was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball by Cole, so I think he is really pumped up for this this confrontation today. Yeah, he's trying to overpower him. 2-2.
And he's trying to be careful too after that first knockdown pitch, or if you want to call it that. See, this ball kind of tails back over the plate. Last thing you want to do is go up and in or get him off the plate again and make it obvious. You know, you go with your best stuff. You know, it's kind of a fun game, kind of ego-wise, when it's 11-2. You can, as a pitcher, just go with your best stuff against one of the game's best hitters.
Popped him up. Long run for LeMahieu. Can't get there. That's in the Red Sox dugout. Well, they'll be sharing a clubhouse out at Dodger Stadium. Both American League All-Stars, Cole and Devers. Jeter Downs at second, one man out. Red Sox have 3 hits against Cole. Yankees lead 11-2. Cole looking for his 9th win of the year. He's 8-2. His ERA right now at 3.06. Entered the game at 3.05. 2-2. Boy, Cole wanted that one. He's staring in toward Visconti.
Yeah, this ball looks down. That's not a ball that you can do anything with as a hitter. But you see Devers starting to open up a lot, which means he's really conscious of that inside corner where Cole's been pounding.
3-2. Swing and a miss. 100 miles an hour. He strikes him out for the 2nd time today. And Devers 0 for 3 against Cole.
No, you can't emphasize it enough that early in the game they pounded him in, and it has really opened up. Even though he misses his target, it opens up that outside corner where Devers is just kind of flying open, trying to get to the ball, and you see that bat coming around it. No way to catch up.
So Bobby Dahlbeck is going to pinch hit for Xander Bogaerts. So 10th strikeout for Cole against Devers overall today, and so he is creeping up that list. Ron Guidry with 23 all time. Cole, I think that was 18th. Yep. Cone has 21. Sabathia has 20. And Guidry leads with 23. The 1-1. 1-2. Ten strikeouts, no walks, 6th inning. Yankees lead 11-2. Downs at second. Strike 3. He strikes out 3 after the double by Downs. 11 strikeouts, no walks for Garrett Cole through 6. All Yankees here in the Bronx. Global Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge and compete to win $100,000 at MLB.com/bracket or on the MLB Play app. Restrictions apply. See rules. Garrett Whitlock, the new pitcher for the Red Sox. Whitlock, we saw him with 2 perfect innings on Friday. Downs now moves in at short, Dahlbeck at third, and Wong is at second. So Cora giving Devers and Bogart some time off. They'll be heading to LA after the game. Probably on the same plane as the Yankee All-Stars that will be heading to LA. One and one on Connor Falefa. So not the first half that Alex Cora envisioned for his team. Got off to a very slow start, had a great June, but sluggish here in July, and still looking for a series win against an American League East opponent. But that third wild card makes you think. Doesn't make it an automatic, let's get rid of people that are going to be free agents. That's one's driven deep to left field. Verdugo back. He has plenty of room and puts it away. One away. That'll bring up Tim LeCastro, who's had quite a day. 3 for 3 his last time up. Hit a 2-run home run. We'll take a look at it on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud. Exit velo of 104.4, and it traveled a nice distance, 410 feet. That's his second home run of the year. So he gets a spot start, and he certainly made Aaron Boone look very smart. And there's a strike from Whitlock.
You know, Michael, I just got kind of a flashback where you were talking about, taking a plane with other players, and, they'll be in the same locker room. And it is so weird at the All-Star game when you go in and you have it's a very easy time to, to be friends with the everyday players, but you really don't talk or have conversations with pitchers, because the pitchers don't like the hitters don't like the pitchers. But the everyday players, you learn to know these guys in just a short amount of time. And I'm sure the pitchers are on the same board too with the other pitchers, but the everyday players and the pitchers, not a lot of conversations.
LeCastro finally retired. He swings and misses. 2 away. And some of the conversations at the All-Star game and during that break, I mean, they have long-term ramifications, because it was at an All-Star game where Mariano Rivera taught the late Roy Halladay a grip on the cutter, and it took Halladay to another level as a Hall of Fame pitcher. Just that one conversation that they had in the outfield where he asked Mo, well, how do you hold your cutter? And he told him.
Right.
1-0. One on Higashioka. Yankees 11 runs on 11 hits. Red Sox 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 11-2 Yankees. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Whitlock retires the Yankees in order. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the 7th. All Yankees, 11-2. Lined up. Cole against Sale. Sale left as Pinky was broken. A comebacker by Aaron Hicks. Yankees had a lot of hits and have had a lot of hits in this game, putting up runs in bunches. Another 10-plus offensive outburst by them. Even in slow motion, it looks good. And that's what the coverage cam did for us, following Cole, Sale, and the Cole-Devers matchup. Cadillac scoreboard, 11-2 Yankees as we start the 7th inning here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. All right, so Paul, we spoke about it a little bit earlier about me possibly getting a side fade.
Yeah.
And my longtime barber, Junior, listening, texted me, said, no way. The only way I would do a side fade on you is if you lost a bet.
Well, we can make a bet right now, Michael. I bet the Yankees win today. How's that? Just so we get you a side fade.
Garrett Cole still in there. Rob Refsnyder pinch hitting. for J.D. Martinez, and the pitch is low and away, 1-0.
Matter of fact, rumor has it Meredith could cut hair. She could probably do it before you go to the All-Star break while you're in the booth right there.
Michael, you would look fantastic. Like Kelly didn't. Jody would never talk to me again.
You know, Meredith, it would accentuate that little peanut head he has too, you know, with the side fade. It would make it perfect.
It would elongate it. I don't know that that would be what he's going for, because Paul, as he'll tell us, he does not have a big head. He has a long.
All right.
Long.
All right, 1-1.
When it's 11-2.
Yeah.
When it's 11-2, Michael, this is what happens.
See, the Yankees have made some defensive changes. LeMahieu moves over to first, taking over for Rizzo. Gonzalez takes over for LeMahieu at third. LeCastro moves from right to center, and Gallo comes in to play right field. 1-2. I'm a little surprised that Cole's still in here.
He's going to be on normal rest, obviously not pitching in the All-Star game. So, you know, you want to continue to get him his 100, 105, 110 pitches. And, you know, they're very low stress pitches right now. So he's on automatic pilot at this point, and it's fun to see how good he is.
He gets the call on this one. 4 straight strikeouts for Cole. And he has 12 strikeouts. Got the benefit there, a little bit low. And he has not walked a batter. Really just that one mistake. Jeter Downs 2-run home run. Another superb outing for Garrett Cole. So here is Verdugo. And there's a strike from Cole.
Mike, I want you to think about this. We're going to go through some of the rivalry stuff, obviously, with the Yankees. And, you know, 2 years come to mind, and you grew up watching them in '78. I'm sure you remember the big Bucky Dent home run. And then 2003, the huge Aaron Boone walk-off. What resonates more in your mind? Which team? What's more exciting?
Well, to me, it was, you know, coming back and making up a 14-game deficit in 1978, and then the Bucky Dent, you know, the one-game playoff. That was forever moments. It just was. And right. The Aaron Boone home run, although it was great, they didn't go on to win the World Series, so that took a little bit of the magic away. The Yankees ended up winning the World Series against the Dodgers in '78, so that still resonates. And those teams back then, I mean, Paul, they fought. I mean, they really fought.
Right.
They didn't like each other.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, and you know, if they break down that last game, Game 7 of the 2003, I mean, the big question was, did they leave Pedro Martinez in too long? And, you know, that was always the question.
Base hit for Verdugo. I mean, I would see fights where, you know, Greg Nettles lifted up Bill Lee and threw him to the ground and separated his shoulder, knocked him out. And then Fisk and Munson didn't seem like they had any love for each other, and didn't seem like anybody in the Red Sox like Lou Piniella at all. I mean, those games were absolute battles. So here's Plawecki, his first at bat. He took over behind the plate for Vasquez. I always wondered, with you playing right field at Fenway, I mean, the fans are right on top of you. I mean, you must have heard some really nice things.
I mean, it was unbelievable how, you know, the fans would get on you in right field. Actually, one time I picked up a ball down in that well there.
Oh, nice play. There's one. On to first. It's a double play.
We'll go back to the well next inning.
Wow. I can't wait for the well. A 6-4-3 double play at the end of 6.5 innings of play. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Black scoreboard, 11-11-0 for the Yanks, 2-4-1 for the Red Sox. Sal Lath with 2 outs in the first inning, broke his pinky. Comebacker by Hicks. Garrett Cole, 7 innings. He has 12 strikeouts, did not walk a batter. 3 RBIs, a double. 1 for 3 for Carpenter. LeCastro, 3 for 4, a 2-run home run, 2 runs, and 2 stolen bases. So that's the summary. John Schreiber comes in for the Red Sox, another pitcher. as he deals with LeMahieu, and the pitch is inside. So Schreiber is the 8th pitcher used by the Red Sox. This will be his 34th game. All right, so Paul, last we left you were in right field in Fenway Park. So what happened?
Oh, yeah, I went to get a ball down in the well there, the little circle there, and it got hit in the back of the head with a bottle. That's back when bottles were still in the game of baseball.
Wow.
But my point was, you know, as crazy as they were in right field, you would go out that night after a day game, and people would come up. They'd talk to you. They left all the animosity at the ballpark. They loved the rivalry. They actually would come up and say, you know, I hate the Yankees, but I appreciate what you guys do. And this is so, you know, that part of it I always enjoyed. Now, the part going into the clubhouse, going out to right field, that wasn't so much fun. But, you know, I was very lucky because I played at a time where, you know, the Yankees beat the Red Sox. And then, you know, all of a sudden it changed there for a while, too.
So the nice conversation and Abe and Louie's made up for the bottle to the back of the head. That's beautiful.
yeah. Yes. There it is. See, they go to cans now. You'd have to smoke somebody with a can now.
I've always wondered how it is warming up in a really tight game for an opposing pitcher, because the fans at Fenway, they're right on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
And there was that one altercation with Jeff Nelson and Kareem Garcia.
Nelly,
if you remember
out there.
that?
That was also a weird thing in Fenway Park, because I wouldn't throw with Bernie. Usually in between innings I would throw with Bernie, but Bernie would throw with the left fielder in front of the Green Monster, and I actually would throw with the pitchers and out in the bullpen. You know, with the really low wall, the pitchers would stay in the bullpen, and you long toss into the bullpen back out to right field. As DJ LeMahieu adds just another hit to his resume.
He hit that one so hard it ate up Franchi Cordero. Here is Joey Gallo. He took over defensively in right field in the top of the inning, so this will be his first at bat. They didn't play him yesterday. He was not in today's starting lineup against the lefty Sale. So now getting an at bat. Runner on first base. 3 more hits for LeMahieu, who also walked. His average up to 279. 1-0. High drive, right field. There it goes. See ya. Oh, did he need that? A 2-run home run for Gallo. 13-2 Yanks.
I was just going to say, Michael, sometimes a break and not starting, not knowing you're going to play is the best thing that can happen, because Joey Gallo, we talked the other night, is just in fast motion at the plate. Mind spinning, too many things going on. By just going up there, coming in late to a game, not knowing you're going to play, you know, it just simplifies things a little bit. You know, see the ball, hit it hard. One of the better swings we've seen from Joey Gallo in a long time.
His teammates are very, very happy for him. He works hard. He has not been able to take that work and have it work on the field. And they know what he's going through, and they know how he feels. And he has not been productive this year, but you can see how happy they were in the dugout for him as Marwin Gonzalez flies out to Verdugo for the first out of the 7th.
Again, Schreiber's got good stuff, too. Gallo just turns this one around, no doubt. Actually kind of pulls his hands in, which allows that bat head to get out there quicker. Immediately, watch the bench. They know where that one's heading.
Hey, baseball players, Paul, know the trials and tribulations of what other guys are going through better than anybody. I mean, you guys have been through it. That's why you see such elation for a guy like Gallo getting that home run.
Mm-hmm. Michael, let's give some all-star grades. You and I, we got a little time here. You know, so obviously the Yankees, A+ for the first half, right?
Yep.
So let's start at the top of the lineup today. DJ LeMahieu. Let's see if you agree with me. DJ LeMahieu.
I just want you to know you're getting us both into a lot of trouble. I'm the one who's going to have to go into the clubhouse, and if somebody gets a bad grade, I'm going to get slapped upside the head.
Well, you're the teacher. You're allowed to throw straight A's out there if you want to. DJ LeMahieu, I'm going to give a B. That's good. He's not the best he's ever been, but he's had a good first half. Do you agree?
I would say I'd give him a B+.
All right. Aaron Judge, A+.
A+.
Obviously.
Yep.
MVP caliber year.
Yep.
Anthony Rizzo, I'm going to give an A. He's been unbelievably productive, right?
I would say
agree?
A to A-.
All right. Glaber, I think because of where he was last year, I'm going to give him a B+, trending towards an A-.
I would be. I'm in lockstep with you.
Matt Carpenter, A+++, because it came from nowhere, right?
I think you're wrong. I'd add another plus.
All right. Very nice. And now we're down to Aaron Hicks, which at this point I would give him very average. He's coming back. He's got an upside in the second half, but I would have to just give him an average grade.
I think you're right there.
Kiner Falefa, I think that you're basically giving. I think the Yankees are getting basically what they thought they would get out of him. A little hitting, little fielding, little speed. I think he'll be better in the second half defensively.
Okay, I agree with you. And look at that. Matt Carpenter makes an out. We'll get back to the grading. Now, who's happier, the kid who caught Joey Gallo's home run or Joey Gallo? Look at that joy. Even Red Sox fans celebrating. Yankees with a lucky 13 on the board. Great way to finish the first half of the season for Gerrit Cole. He's poised to pick up his 9th victory of the year against just 2 losses. And Paul, I don't know if you would agree with me on this, but I think the pitch to Devers in the first inning set the tone for the entire game. And you see the strikeouts, 12 of them, how he got them. I thought that was a message pitch, and it wasn't thrown at his head. Obviously, you don't want to do that no matter how much a guy destroys you. It made him think, hey, you're going to have to look in the inside corner.
Well, I think it changes his at-bats against Devers all day. No doubt about it. Swing and misses on the outside part of the plate. Devers was opening up, so he was looking in all day. Gerrit Cole, after he got the big lead, like I said, kind of went on automatic pilot. He's had a phenomenal day. 12 strikeouts. I mean, against a good hitting team. They made a lot of substitutions so far, but another great performance for Gerrit Cole.
1-1. And this is the pitch. It happened in the first inning. And you said it at the time, Paul, that was not tremendously inside. It was kind of aimed at just above the knee.
Mm-hmm. And again, when you hit pitchers very well, sometimes you expect to be knocked off the plate. And Devers is, it's thinking, that was intentional. Cole has no idea that he's staring at him at this point. He got his message across, and he's pitched well the rest of the day.
Hey, listen, I can't get into anybody's head here, Paul, but I believe that was on purpose. Cole wanted to establish the inside corner and then take control of the outside corner.
I agree. I mean, establishing the inside corner is making sure you get it in off the plate. If you're going to miss, you miss off the plate. You don't miss out over the plate.
Now, word from Bank of America. So Lucas Litke on for Cole. So Cole gave the Yankees 7 strong. And Litke strikes out Franchi Cordero, now Jackie Bradley Jr. 1-0 on Bradley. Bradley, one of the 4 hits against Cole. He had a 1-out single in the 3rd, and then Jeter Downs with the 2-run home run against Cole. That's the damage against the Yankee righty. That one's fouled away. So as a Yankee, Cole has made 9 starts against the Red Sox. The Yankees are 6, if they hold on, 6-3 in those starts, and Cole will be 5-3. And he came into the game with a 5.27 ERA against the Red Sox. So not the numbers that you would want, but you could see he was locked in today. And the Yankees will end up winning this series, and the Red Sox kind of limp into the All-Star break. And one of the things that the Red Sox were hanging their hat on was about all the players they were getting back. And one of the players they were thrilled about getting back was Chris Sale. And Chris Sale's going to be out for a bit. Don't know how long, but broken pinky on your pitching hand, it's not a great thing. Two and two. So, Paul, you had a couple more players to give grades to.
Yeah, I'm going to group the pitchers, the starting pitchers, as an A. They've been phenomenal, led by Garrett Cole. The bullpen's been very good. I'm going to give them an A. Also led by an A+ from Clay Holmes. And one other guy that comes to mind, obviously, is Stanton, and I think that's an A-. I mean, he's had a great year. I think that he's going to have a great second half. And I tell you what, Aaron Boone has been as good as he's ever been, and I think it started early in the year when he had a short leash with Chapman, and they said, you know what, this is a year we're going to play to win. We don't care about roles, this or that, and I think the wild card going into the second half is going to be Loaisiga out of the bullpen. Make sense?
Yeah, Loaisiga is going to be big, and also the way if they figure out a role for Chapman, what that role is going to be and how effective he's going to be at it. Here's Jeter Downs. I also want to give an A to the front office. You know, everybody talks about Brian Cashman. He has a staff behind him as well. And the assistant GM, Michael Fishman, was the first guy to call Matt Carpenter when Matt Carpenter requested his release from the minor leagues of the Texas Rangers. First guy to call. And, boy, Carpenter's really made a difference.
Well, that's a great call. And, you know, we finish up our classroom, we got a lot of kids running home to show their parents their report cards on this team. They've had a pretty good first half, huh?
I'll tell you what, I wish I had teachers like you at Bronx Science. I didn't get A's thrown around like that. But I didn't have a first half like the Yankees had.
You're exactly right.
Also, the Yankees ended up picking up Jose Trevino out of the blue. He's an all-star. So you can't forget that, and what they did during the offseason, addition by subtraction for some players, bringing others in, making the team more athletic, the fact that they can steal bases and play very, very good defense. It's all contributed to the best record in baseball here in the first half. But it was interesting to see what Aaron Boone said today. You know, trade deadline's approaching, August 2nd, I believe, and he said there could be a huge trade, or there might not be a trade. He said, and we're ready for anything. And, you know, Cashman and company always making those phone calls to see who they can acquire. Strike three, Downs down looking. So Litke retires the Red Sox in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees lead 13-2. Part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Hyundai scoreboard. Yankees lead 13-2 over the Red Sox in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Caleb Orrick, his 5th game this year, 9th Red Sox pitcher of the game. Sale, Sawamura, Hernandez, Brazier, Diekman, Houck, Whitlock, Schreiber, and now Orrick. So that's how Alex Cora is going to piece together the 24 outs. Doesn't look like the Yankees will bat in the bottom of the 9th, so there won't be 27. Loaisiga getting ready to pitch the 9th inning for the Yankees. And Ort against Hicks. And there's a strike. Foul back. 0-2. So it was Hicks with his comebacker in the first inning that broke the pinky of Chris Sale, knocked him out of the game. Picked up an RBI in that. Aaron is 2 for 3 with a walk, couple of RBIs.
Yeah, you think of that play, Michael. It wasn't like it was a two-hopper back to him. It was a missile right back up the box. No reaction time for Sale. We just hope him the best that he is able to come back soon. Again, you know, the pinky not part of the grip of the baseball, but still, I'm sure a lot of pain involved until you get it under control.
And down goes Hicks for the first out. Hey, Thursday on Yes, fresh off the All-Star break, the Bombers begin the second half with a big day-night doubleheader at Houston against the Astros. Game 1 coverage starts at 12:30. Then catch Game 2 coverage beginning at 6, only on Yes, New York's most watched sports network, and your home of the first place New York Yankees.
Michael, we've been out to that shot a lot there. That's kind of our playoff perch out there, that we would do the pregame in center field up there.
That's right.
Beautiful view from the stadium.
And the deeper you get into the playoffs, Paul, the colder it gets out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. The first round, Michael, you remember we're doing it and we're hoping the sun goes down.
Right.
And then by the end of it, you know, a couple series later, you want to hurry up and get it done while the sun's out to stay warm. You're right. I always knew when it was playoff time, Michael. You know how? Because the playoff games would start in pitch dark. You know, in New York, it gets dark so quick. You know, by 7 o'clock, 7:15, it's pitch dark. And the later it gets in the year. So, you know, now you take the field as a player, middle of the summer, you know, it's still daylight somewhat. And you know, once the playoffs get there, you go out to get those sprints in before the game, and it is pitch dark. The lights are bright, and the fans are rocking.
1-2 on Connor Falefa. He's 0 for 3 with a sac fly. Still looking for his first home run of the year. He has 27 ribbies, hitting .269. Ground ball through for a base hit. The Yankees have found their vibe. 13-2 over the Red Sox. Bottom of the 8th inning. Looking for their 64th win of the first half of the season. They'd go 64-28 going into the All-Star break before that doubleheader against Houston. Here's LoCastro. 3 for 4 today. And a strike. High fly ball, left field. Verdugo for the second out. And here's Kyle Higashioka. 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. So a very frustrating loss on Friday. The Yankees had opportunities. They tied the game in the 9th. They had the bases loaded, nobody out. This is after losing 2 out of 3 to the Reds, and then they end up losing that one in very frustrating fashion. But boy, they bounced back yesterday, beating the Red Sox 14-1, and they have bounced back today. And it's pretty apropos that they end the first half this year, because this has been the first half. They have bludgeoned people with the home run. They've done what they had to do. They've made the plays in the field. They've gotten really good starting pitching. And I'm not saying that this game per se is a microcosm of what they've done in the first half, but it's been as good a first half as you could possibly imagine for this team. And another sellout here at the stadium. 3 straight sellouts, 47,958. Here on 161st and River. The 2-1. 3-1 on Higashioka. And this weekend, 3 biggest crowds of the season. Last night was number 1. Today's number 2. Friday was number 3. And a walk to Higashioka. That moves Connor Falefa to second and brings up DJ LeMahieu. Three for 4. 3 runs scored, picked up an RBI. He's a hit away from going over 280 for the first half. He's at 279 right now. He didn't have a great year last year. He's much closer to prime LeMahieu this year than last year by any stretch. And this is a guy that's won 2 batting titles, one in the National League, one here in the American League.
Yeah, it's been very close to what we're used to seeing, Michael, especially in these last 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, he's just been putting the ball to play, hitting the fastball the other way, pulling the breaking balls, you know, not jammed. He's been hitting the ball hard pretty much every at bat.
And LeMahieu gets plunked to load the bases, and he's in some pain. And this is Aaron Boone's worst nightmare, a blowout game. And LeMahieu gets hit with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Yeah, not the way you want to go to the All-Star break after a big hit and a couple 3 weeks of solid play. And hopefully it got some muscle, and that you know, these 3 days it'll heal up.
So Ort spun around in frustration and pounded his glove.
Ball's running in at you. There's just no way about it. You just kind of tighten up and wait for impact.
As you can see, LeMahieu does not wear an elbow guard, so that hit him above the elbow. Hope it got the fleshy part, which I'm sure is painful, but maybe he doesn't get injured out of it. But he's staying in the game. Bases loaded, and that brings up Gallo. Yankees lead 13-2. Gallo with a 2-run home run in his only at bat. Yankees have 2 home runs in this game, giving them 157. And that's more home runs after 92 games than they've ever had in their history. One and 2 on Gallo. Bottom of the 8th inning, Yankees up by 11, 13-2. 14 hits for the Yanks, 4 for the Red Sox, 1 error in the game, a throwing error by Devers in the first inning. Check swing, 2-2 on Gallo. Gallo's home run in the 7th, his 11th home run of the year. RBIs number 22 and 23. Foul back. Kiner-Falefa is at third. Higashioka at second, and LeMahieu is over first. Three and two. So that will release the runners. A full count, 2 outs.
Ty Carpenter's got his first base glove ready at the top of the ninth.
So he'll go from DH into the field. The runners will go, and the pitch. High drive, right field. Duran comes in and puts it away for the final out. No runs a hit, no errors, and 3 men left. We go to the 9th inning, all Yankees. Lots of plays, lots of big hits that scored runs. First up, DJ LeMahieu, an RBI single. Aaron Judge, an RBI single. Hey, where's Matt Carpenter? There he is. 2-run double. Aaron Hicks, he picks up an RBI. And then the big blow off the bat of Tim LaCastro, his second home run of the year, a 2-run shot. Those are the Chevy plays of the game. And remember, everybody, stay tuned after the final out for the WB Mason postgame and get highlights, analysis, and complete player reaction from today's first half finale with the Red Sox, plus Aaron Boone on the manager's report. So Carpenter does take over at first base so they can get some ice on LeMahieu. Give him a half an inning off. Jonathan Loaizaga will try to get the final 3 outs, his second game coming off the IL. And he'll face the top of the order. Jarren Duran has struck out 3 times today. 1-0. Everybody's going to the Carpenter mustache. It's a good look. It's a good look for him.
Quite a necklace he's sporting there, Michael.
You know, Carpenter's success, Paul, I'm just thinking, it could be attributed to, it's a combination of Mattingly and Tino. He's got Tino's number, Mattingly's mustache. Boom. You got a productive guy. Boy, is he going to rest well during the All-Star break. Probably wants to continue to play, but he can really sit back and reflect on what an amazing start to his Yankee career he's had. Fouled away, 1-2. All 3 Duran strikeouts against Garrett Cole. Swing and a miss. Duran with the golden sombrero going into the All-Star break. 4 strikeouts.
Well, I tell you what, and a good changeup from Loaizaga. You get 3 nasty ones from Cole, and then you get Loaizaga getting his work in too. Finish him off with a great changeup.
So here is Connor Wong. So the Yankees and the Red Sox, this is their 10th matchup this season, and the Yankees will lead in the season series 6-4. 6 of their 9 matchups coming into today decided by 1 or 2 runs, including 3 extra inning games. But the last 2, well, that has not been the case. 14-1 yesterday, 13-2 today. It's almost as if after Friday's loss, they said enough. You could see how angry Boone was in the postgame on Friday, that it wasn't all unicorn and rainbows, that they had to play better.
Yeah, I got grandchildren now. Those unicorns might come into play. That's a cool little thing there.
Oh, it's big. It is big. The unicorn, very big. Especially the one with the interlocking pink NY on the side.
See how I set you up for that, Michael? Just going into the break. It's beautiful.
Base hit past a lunging Carpenter into right field. Gallo cuts it off, holds Wong to a single.
Hey, look at Loaizaga, and I was going back to his first outing against the Reds. I thought he threw the ball pretty well. A couple ground balls that found holes, but then he had the one slider or the cutter that he chose to throw to Farmer from the Reds. It cost him. This is 98-mile-an-hour sinker, hit hard, and it just finds a hole. So I don't think that you worry about Loaizaga as long as his velocity's up and he's getting ground balls. It just seems like anything hit off him now is finding a hole.
And a strike. Swing and a miss by Dahlbeck, 0-2. Want to remind everybody, join us again right here on Yes, 12:30 on Thursday as the second half starts. And it starts with 2 big games against the Astros. And that will be from Houston. Two and 2 on Dahlbeck. He struck out looking in his first plate appearance in the 6th, taking over for Bogarts. 2-2. Strike 3. Dahlbeck down looking. Yankees are not away from a win.
Again, we talked about what a weapon he could be. I mean, a 98 two-seamer on the outside corner. You need to bottle this one for the second half because that doesn't get hit very often.
So here's Rob Refsnyder. Pinch hit for J.D. Martinez in the 7th and struck out. $16 strikeouts for the Red Sox against the Yankees today.
Yeah, it starts happening, Michael, in these blowout games. You know, as a hitter, obviously it's important to you, but you know, it's just so hard to keep your concentration. And you're not facing, you know, the average Joes because, you know, Garrett Cole had great stuff today. Loaizaga getting his work in here. I mean, it's very easy to get overpowered in a game like this by good pitching.
So a strike away from a win, a strike away from maybe the 17th Red Sox strikeout, a strike away from the end of the first half of the season. And the sellout crowd, what's left of it, most of them standing. And the pitch. Line drive over the leaping try of IKF into left field as the Red Sox stay alive with the single by Ref Snyder.
Again, it just seems like Loizaca's kind of snake bit. If it's put in play, it's finding a hole somewhere. Not hit real hard, but he elected to go back to a breaking ball. Ref Snyder just kind of pokes it to left.
And here's Verdugo. First and second, 2 men out. Ninth inning, 13-2 Yankees. The Ref Snyder single, 6th hit for the Red Sox. This should do it. Ground ball to the shortstop. Kind of left the steps on the bag, and that'll do it as the Yankees win 13-2 and complete a first half that they could only dreamed about. 64-28, Paul. And more great moments than any bad moments whatsoever. The Yankees have really done what they needed to do in this first half.
Yeah, I think DJ LeMahieu said on the field the other day that it's just like we are very good in a lot of areas of the game of baseball right now, this team being the Yankees, and that's a really good way of putting it. I think Aaron Boone has got these guys showing up every single day. You've got great leadership in Judge and Rizzo and Stanton. Great leadership with Cole and the pitching staff. You can only hope that they can somehow try to duplicate this first half going into the second half.
Well, we're going to break it down. We'll break down the game when we get back. We have a big post game with Bob and Jack, so stay right where you are. America's Well on Yes.